Yeah, that was a great conversation.
Thank you. No.
That was a fantastic conversation. So how did you find that?
I'll be honest with you. I think I was nervous.
Yeah.
I was nervous, and also happy to have had this opportunity to explore my inner thoughts.
Yes.
Open to that public scrutiny, because you can only read. You can only read and talk to like-minded people for so long, and I appreciated the fact that you afforded me the opportunity to express myself as I am. There was no.
This is how, like I said, it's not an interview. You're dressed in a suit and tie, and you know what? One of the things I feel, and I've seen out there, is that. Like I remember we were saying that the age of the untouchable superstars dying and then it's dead. So people don't want this whole filtered, caricatured, curated version of you, because that's not real anymore.
I can't relate to it. So I think, Lynn, what I've started to realize is that the people I enjoy, like take Trevor Noah for example. Yes, I know he's famous. Or Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
They've got some level of humble demeanor to them, and because they are humble and they are relatable, you get the sense that I can actually do that. Whereas you get someone who's super arrogant, and you're just like, I can't do that.
I can't do that.
No, and it kind of reserves that situational position for them in society, but at the same time it alienates you, because now when you're looking at you like, actually, as in Ansafun.
I'm done. No, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm going to make the example that I think most men or guys have gone through. You get that beautiful girl when you guys are young, and because she's so beautiful, guy or girl actually, and because they know and they realize the society is giving them that feedback. Then it's like, if I'm this beautiful, I don't actually have to work for anything. I don't have to try. People come to me. Fine, shut up. That's when we're younger. So your commodity then is your looks. People get older. We realize, actually, we can't get to you. So how do we get to you? What can we do? Actually, let's focus on ourselves. You build this idea of you being you and being valued through what people see. And I build myself through intellect and what have you. And later on, we bump into each other in life. Then it's like, and like, you looking for a job, weren't you the pretty one? Anyway, you can be the
be the assistant, and then
sure.
The interesting thing there is, I'm glad my dad got me out of that when I was young, because when I was 12, I was considered handsome, but like I was considered handsome, but like I had all other gifts I wasn't bringing to the front. And then he had a conversation with me and said, you need to, if you're gonna make it to university, you're gonna make it in life. You need to work hard. And apply yourself, because you don't get accepted in university because you're handsome. And then also I've realized that past a certain age, we don't really care.
No.
We don't really care.
I think
we don't really care. I think if you, even when you start hitting 17, 18, chief, I think that's when you stop really.
Because now the thing is, it's like, but you're not doing anything.
Not doing anything. You're just cute.
Great, but you're cute. I'm still hurt. You're cute. We're still broke.
How exactly? What is it? What is it actually going to do? So it's that depth of character and being that people love. Whether they want to admit it or not, and I'm open to being wrong, but whether they want to admit it or not, they want to have someone who's accessible, who is like them, that they can. It's like Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
Who would you rather be? Who do you think you can be more like? Superman. Well, you. Superman's an alien, dude.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I look at him. I'm like,
who would you like in terms of realms of possibility? Like,
no, obviously. Batman,
because like
he's on Earth.
The whole barring billions of dollars, you can pretty much do the same thing that he does. So, but then Superman is an alien,
unreachable.
Unreachable.
So I think
no power. He's got all these powers and no limitations, and you're like, wow, he's Superman.
So I think, the reason why I touched on that, on being Superman, you touched on something that triggered a memory. Jay Chetty talks about having having like an alter ego or someone who you put yourself into a mode of, I'm this person so that you can achieve greatness. So the reason I even chose Superman is because I think I've chosen him consistently before, as if you were to be a hero, because there was a study done looking at kids given the opportunity to pretend to be superheroes versus kids not given the idea that they're superheroes. Which kids apply themselves more to the problem, right? And try and solve a problem. So when you give kids the idea that they're Superman and they're superpowers and they go bananas trying to solve the problem. The ones that are told you're just you, they're limited by, but I'm just me. So when you said like, who can you be realistically? Realistically speaking, you're right. Batman. Lomonia it's a fictitious idea of whatever. But nonetheless, the power of that, when you go, I'm going to a meeting. I'm going to speak to certain people. Let me be that person.
Let me be.
Beyonce apparently did it with Sasha Fierce. She wasn't able to be that queen
as Beyonce.
And be a mother. So she then created Sasha Fierce, and until such a time she was like, okay, cool, I can evoke Sasha Fierce without having to go into a different persona anymore. Hence why Sasha Fierce went.
Okay, now I get it. No, that's actually like a good thing.
So when, for example,
for me, what do you mean for good?
So when, for example, like as you're saying, Ubabwako kind of saw that the world had given you as Sasha Fierce, but they weren't going to always give it to you, because they were going to get to a point where say, okay, well, hands home, and then
so now what? We don't care.
You kind of had to create a real Sasha Fierce, which is one that works, and I mean, you being able to do all of this and put it together is in itself a superhero thing, because someone looks up to you and is like, oh my gosh.
I've had that. I've had that.
And it lended, now we go into this like another tier of what we spoke about. Because of your humility, it doesn't get your head. You're still like, bruh. You know? Whereas other people are like, well.
I'm like, you know what? No. It's a thing. What I was coming from the Batman and Superman thing is it's the perception of you can't do what I do.
Yes.
For Superman, there's no way. Superman comes here and like lifts the entire earth. I can't do that. I can't lift the entire earth. But it's that perception say what I'm doing, you can do. If you do what I did with the circumstances that are around and with the hint of luck that I have had.
And I like the fact that you mentioned those realities, hint of luck, circumstances.
Because that's very true. Because people who, again, the most arrogant people I think are those who are tone deaf and who are not educated to the fact that there's certain things that just worked out to their favor. That simply just worked out to their favor. It had nothing to do with them.
If I can claim such favor, I'm privileged now. I can sit and talk and say I'm privileged because I went to the best schools, great university, managed to find a job after university. Yes, things went south, but I'm still privileged. I'm still here. Don't have a personality that I can't control, and I aspire to greatness. I don't fear or feel that society is going to do what it's done to some people, whereby it's imposed itself on them, and then they've gone, I don't know who I am, but at this age I'm supposed to do this. At this age I'm supposed to do this. You know, when you read like the founder of McDonald's. The Colonel's progression and how he came to be, you realize that life happens. Obviously nowadays we're exposed to more information and things happen a little bit faster, but just do things at your own time so that you don't have to be abantu who are how can I put this, who have to protect their successes through arrogance. You can actually share with him that I'm going through the most.
It's tough out here. It's hard out here.
But you can come through.
It's rough.
We will get there. And just drawing from my experiences about people who have gone there, like one of the CEOs I was chatting with, Andrew Uti. One of the things about business now, this is where it looks really, really
no one cares.
Uti, you need to just stick it out.
Yeah.
Like, imagine this. You start off, you finish your MBA, you all start your businesses. You got a guy who got a summa cum laude, and you got, let's say, Bongani, who just finished his MBA. The guy who's got a summa cum laude and has always had a spoon, silver spoon, fails in business. troubleshooting skills start to wane, like, I don't know how to do this, pays people to do certain things. Then you get someone who's like, actually, I know how to resolve, but it's going to take time.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't care about public image, he just knows that this must work and it's going to work. The other guy's like, I don't look good doing this.
Yeah.
Even if this guy is actually bad,
yeah,
he won because he's the only one. Then he starts to become the person who makes the rules about that industry. Then people are like, Jabs,
how did you do it?
You know?
Yeah.
Now you're like, actually.
Yeah.
And for me, these kind of thinking or this kind of principle has been reinforced even by my supervisor when I was doing my master's.
Yeah.
Highly intelligent woman. Mm-hmm. German above and on top of that. So German excellence.
Yeah.
So she says to me, Chap, your master's is your master's. I am no expert in what you're writing. I was like, what?
Fair.
I'm an expert. Yes.
Yeah. Even me.
Yeah.
Just dude.
Yes. So now bringing it back.
Bench the world
yeah. You know. And she gave me so much confidence that I could engage with her and such, like, no, but this means this and this. And that's the power of someone who's certain, who's settled. And that's what I was saying to you when I came here. How did it feel? Bringing it back to the conversation. It was nerve-wracking because I'm like, hey, this guy he's hosting big things. He's doing big things. Who am I? Yeah, okay, just go, Bongs. Only to get here to find you're actually human. You're just human.
Yeah.
And above, not to say it makes you any lesser. You still, I think, you carry that presence. You're a published author. You're going places, and you have a plan. And your ego, now I've got an ego.
Yeah, we all do.
But I've learned the value of my ego. It must only be to that extent which will help me grow, not to alienate people. Yeah. So I mean, after a couple of minutes and after looking at your book cabinet, I was like, actually, Umuntula.
Yeah,
it's sorted.
Yeah, like it's. I think people need to get this thing out of their minds because people defeat themselves in their minds first.
True.
Before they even go into the field. I mean, one bodybuilder, Dorian Yates.
Yes.
Yeah. So while he was coming up, he needs to go up against his hero, Lee Haney at the time, and he had to change his mindset to say, now this guy needs to stop being Superman now. To me, so I'm like, now it's like I can take this guy. Why not? And I'm working hard and I'm disciplining myself, and it's like at the end of the day, no, this guy has 2 arms, 2 legs, and he lifts weights.
That's it.
Let's leave it at that. Let's go back to ground zero. And people need to stop defeating themselves because they'll have a poor self-image. Yeah. And then that poor self-image destroys people. And then they end up creating false stories. Like that they believe for when they were young. For example, they'll say, they'll tell you now, for example, I can go and say, well, I wasn't always smart when I was younger, but then that's a false narrative. When if I actually look into some places where I did display my own
way of unique intelligence,
being smart, actually you were, and you did do certain things, but now you've been convincing yourself that you didn't do these certain things, and people will end up like destroying themselves in their mind.
And you feed that false truth with, how can I put it? It's a self-perpetuating prophecy.
Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah. So
now you're sitting there, you're going, I agree, and then you don't do because you're like, I didn't do. And it's there's a term in the psych industry where they talk about the patient becomes more of the patient as described by the doctors, i.e., if the is a DSM-V, they've got that book where they describe all the different types of psychological issues.
Oh yeah.
So if they say you're neurotic and you're like, I do this and I do that. So now that I do it, I am neurotic. Then you do it some more. Then you go read. You Dr. Google it and then you're like, being neurotic means this and this and this. Yeah, mind you, we are all bits of every psychotic behaviors.
Every single one of us.
It's just, do you have an excessive, pattern towards a certain one? Yeah. So I thank you for showing me the humility that one has attained over time. Because also having gone through Rhodes, it's one of those universities where we do have bourgeoisies of South Africa.
I don't have time for these people. And they know who they are.
Yeah,
they know who they are.
They know who they are.
They know who they are.
They know themselves.
They're not on the show for a specific reason. I'm joking. Actually, I bumped into one.
Oh wow!
When I was someone I considered a friend, right?
I think
And what happened is, this. Maybe you can just weigh in on this one. It's status signaling and living up to social standards. Yeah. Let's say you fresh out of university, you have an income of 10,000 rand, right?
Standard.
Let's say after Cyril has done his thing.
Yeah.
Hey. Has done his thing. After
Uncle Sam,
Uncle Cyril. Not to say anything about Cyril. No, it's
yeah.
I need to speak to him on the show.
Yeah.
So not edit that part out. So it's a sickness, especially I've seen around black people. Generally, you'll go in and then you'll move out of a place that you can't afford, and you go stay in a 4A, Santon, Midrand, all these places, and then you have a car that you can't afford, and all these things.
It escalates.
And it escalates, and then I have interacted with one, and it's like, where do you stay? I'm like, I stay in the Edenville area. I'm like, why do you choose the Edenville area? I'm like, because it's
affordable,
humble and affordable. I mean, I can afford places in 4As, but do I want to deal with the traffic? And I'm not a status signaling person. And then they came across as like, wow, this is a bougie life that I've been living all this time, and then you end up finding out that this guy couldn't even afford the way they were staying.
And
it was dad's money. Guy was on dad's money. So I'm like, wow, it's cool, man.
You're right.
Now it's cool, man. There's nothing for us to talk about.
And sadly, it comes to that because you, as a grown man or a grown adult, you feel like shortchanged.
Yeah.
Because mind you, I mean, I looked up to you and I thought we were like competing on a level of, not even competing per se, but rather like we're exchanging banter and ideas that I can take and realistically apply to myself. Meanwhile, when you're like, push a lap, push. Can't do an 60 kg work or cover
with it's like
polystyrene.
So like,
and then I'm like, but when I never really see you lift those weights.
Exactly.
So, and it sucks because I can't then take what you've done and go to my friends and interact with the guys. Keep on this situation.
Yeah.
And then we try and apply it, it doesn't work, and you're like, Nina, you're a failure.
Exactly, that's the thing.
You must follow me.
No, but like that's the thing. Comes down to the circumstances and everything. Yeah. So like for me, I find it quite because I've also fallen into that.
It happens.
I've fallen into the trap of because I wanted to be perceived a certain way, buying things I couldn't afford, or living in a way that was not to my own truth.
Can I tell you something? And I, in agreement with that, I don't think anyone, you'd have to have come from such a solid family, and I say that because it would have had to teach you that this is wrong.
Yeah.
So for you to have fallen into that, it means that you didn't have the wherewithal to know it was wrong. Look, you might have known aspects of it are wrong, but the absolute lifestyle. Because first of all, we all, like, I don't know who was saying this, but someone said, no one wakes up, I think it was Eric Thomas, no one wakes up and goes, I want a horrible life. I want a horrible job. We all want good things. And I was saying this to my cousin the other day, that what is a good thing if it wasn't determined by society? And that's where you need to get to. Because the sooner you get to there, then you don't live this life where you're aspiring to, assume a certain a behavioral pattern when you're out. Like, I mean, I drink Castle Light. I actually realized in Joburg,
Heineken, Papa. Actually, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. Peroni, bro. Peroni. Heineken. And then when it comes to, I know my alcohol. So like, I've become a genie. So if I say I just want plain Gordon's, you can get judged for that. Like Gordon's.
My
Hendrix,
thing, I was about
Bombay. Not even Bombay's lower tier. Hendrix and Inverroche. Those are the tunes. And if you want like your whiskeys and your other stuff, your Hennessy's. I'm like, what is this,
guys?
There are levels to this, chief. There are levels. No, and you learn the hard way.
So Izol, and I'm saying, I'll say this for free. I will not pay to make you happy or assume I'm in your category. No. Excuse me. My godfather was saying the other day, because I was tasting his wine. I don't know if I was tired, but wine be shy. One glass.
Knocked out.
And I was like, right, what's going on with your wines? And he's like, no, he just buys, I think, aged wines. But it's not expensive necessarily. So I was like, and having come from Rhodes, for example, not talking about alcohol, the only reason I drink is because I understand it. above and beyond that, I enjoy what I'm drinking. It's not for you, it's for me. It's my body.
Yeah.
I'm damaging my body. So it's not on top of whatever.
Western miscare. People you need to get some people need to get certain fresh perspectives on the thing. Yeah. If you're not living your own truth, you easily fall into it.
100%. And the thing is, and this is what I was saying to you earlier, the most difficult thing is being honest to yourself. Like people don't think I hate gym, but I don't like going to the gym that much. I know the value of it. What I enjoy about gym though is that it then anchors a lot of other things. So I've taken that. So people associate what marketing companies and the social media companies have done to them to say, if someone posts this, that means they are. No. There's no causality between posts and, I can give you whatever I want you to perceive.
Yeah.
But my reality is, this is only going to be shared because you're sharing it. But if this was a conversation amongst friends, I think that I do have something to protect. Because I don't want you to know what I do in my personal time with my friends, because it's personal.
It's my time,
It's my time.
Yeah.
And respect that enough to not want to pry, because at the end of the day, if it's in the public domain, then it loses its value.
Yeah.
Some things.
There's a difference between bronze and premium. Like.
So.
Yeah.
The trap that you're talking about, I think everyone has kind of like either fallen into it or scraped it, because we all want to impress. But I think the real growth is what you've gone through, and I don't know if I've gone through it completely or I'm going through it. But because you mentioned Four Ways, and I know that Four Ways is a place where how can I put it? Where I saw actually no, I have fallen out of it. I can actually say that with confidence, because everything I do that has monetary attachment to it, I think about it, and I think about what values it add. Like the Four Ways area, the developments that are happening there, what they're going to impact in terms of property value. Not to say I live in the north, because most people, I've heard that and I didn't understand it until I researched, and I was like,
oh, is that what the north is?
Is that what you mean? Okay.
Some guy called himself the king of the north. I'm like, how do you put a value to that? How do you? What does that mean?
But can we talk about the realities of who actually is benefiting from the north being that way?
Who is benefiting?
Property companies.
Of course they are.
But have they ever said anything? Have you ever heard Pam Golding and
Pam Golding or Belle Baldwin and all those guys like saying, no.
Because they're the real kings of the north.
They are the real kings of the north. They have got wealth and equity and all these things. Because you throw parties,
let me sip tea, coffee.
That's what Orlando.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Now that you think about it, like, what is king?
I don't know, what does that mean? Because like if Muhammad Ali comes and says that I'm the greatest, he's got a record, he's beaten people, he's the greatest ever. You've got numbers behind him. Where's the king of? How do you
do you own us?
Do you own us?
Look, let's actually
DJ
euphonic. No, it is euphonic, because Ufonza and Ukent euphonic. I mean, his property business.
It's my brother, by the way.
Like blood
brother. Show euphonic. Dead serious.
Oh my gosh. So I was going to talk about his property thing. As much as, I mean, that property thing that he did underground.
Property talk and everything. Yeah.
So he's got properties, and legit people thought, another DJ. And I was like, respect to someone who went from DJing to producing to actually Whereas most people, it's a matter of, I'm not famous, but I'm going to purport
to be famous.
I live in the north, where you're actually renting, and also the guy that you rent,
yours, it was not yours,
because the sponsor gave you that.
With that, I've actually come to, I would rather be like these guys, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the people who own the color blue.
Why you fixate with is it royal blue?
No. Like I heard it from Chris Rock. Like when you talk about wealth and being rich you can lose. And wealth is, and then he made the joke as like, well, wealth is like, well, those people, like, you can't get rid of wealth.
No,
you can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of like $150 billion. How do I get rid of $150 billion? You can't. So like he made a story of like the guys who own the alcohol and the time of the plantations and the guys who own the kind of blue, and I just laughed at that. So that's
powerful though, because to think about it, like I remember the CEO of Nestle when I was at Rhodes University watching a docu, and he was saying someone must own water. water should be made into a commodity. And it was just like, hey, if water is going to be a commodity, air is going to be a commodity.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to be like, hey, my guy, we're pumping that oxygen.
Yeah, so you must pay up.
You know?
Yeah.
But Moibeaga and Njalo, aspiring to be like these guys.
I would rather.
It makes more sense. But the thing is, what people can't appreciate, and this is now where obviously you have to look at the history of South Africa and what makes our people the way they are. Uguti, yes, the argument of we never had stands, but at some point we need to go, okay, cool. What do we have? We have the assumed freedom because there's still economic exclusion where we're not going to say no, you can't buy here, but we know that the maths we're going to do,
you can't buy.
The probability of like 10 of you guys affording here is.
And to that, I don't think we had proper reconciliation.
No.
We can go. We have. Like, I'm not knocking.
I get you. Yeah.
But in terms of, because for me, I believe everything comes down to economics, and at the end of the day, everything comes down to numbers. If you don't have numbers, like what do you have? So the thing is that if you look at the accounting term reconciliation, that means like to balance and to find money and put it in its rightful place.
Yeah.
when the party ended, did black people get their money back?
It was T, not RC.
There we go. Like reconciliation didn't really happen because if it did, the country would be more sustainable, with more economic.
But don't you think? Now we're gonna go into that. No,
that's not.
That's a deep one. It's a deep one.
So, but everything comes down to economics. So for me, who would you rather be? I wrote about it in the second book I wrote, You Are a Business, and that's where my mind really changed, because I'm like,
is that Jay-Z inspired?
What
you are a business.
You are a first I remember I was complaining, and then I had a conversation with my brothers like, stop complaining, do something about it. Treat yourself as a business. And I heard Brian Tracy said the same thing, like you are self-employed, you are an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter who's paying you.
True.
And then I like listening to Jay-Z, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Let me head up my business, damn. So
I'm accustomed to being
Exactly. So who would you rather be? Here's a scenario. Let's take Coca-Cola. Is his name John Sully, or the CEO of Coke? He earns like $57 million US dollars
annual.
Okay. That's you can fill up on petrol, right? Yeah. And then you have Warren Buffett, who owns a certain percentage of Coke, and he gets paid far more than that in dividends. I would rather be Warren Buffett because I am an owner. And I would rather be a Rothschild. I don't care. I don't know how many Twitter followers they have, if they're in the media, because they actually own and control resources, wealth, and power.
You
walk into a place, I'd rather be Pam Golding than so-called King of the North, because you are in my property. And if I decide one day that I don't want you there, you will leave. So I would rather, other than having the perceived image of wealth, then I would rather actually have the wealth.
And this is where, like, I think and this is why, like, I mean, I'm going to reduce it to what I can relate to. I never feared, and I still don't fear a lot of people, because I'm like, why must I be scared of you?
Exactly. Why?
Okay. I get in.
Then we're done. Then it's over. Yeah, then it's finished.
Bengal we now foot, and then you get, as you said, like in social settings where someone wants to stunt on you because I'm wearing brands, and it's like, do you feel better that you made me feel less?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's what it touches on. I don't understand. Because someone else's success doesn't mean that you're a failure, and someone else's failure doesn't mean that you're successful.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, because if I highlight that you've got a pimple on your left nostril, that doesn't make me beautiful. It doesn't at all.
It speaks to your inadequacies.
Yes.
And it actually shows that you are regressing and you're not going anywhere. So, again, just to close off that thing, your image there. Because funny enough, when I was coming here, I was like, oh, Edenville.
Exactly right.
And I saw, okay, this neighborhood, what's going on? But mind you, I've often thought of it, and I think if we're speaking frankly, it was like, no, man, but we all went to Rhodes. But now that you mention it, the economy of it, it makes absolute sense. But the thing is, you've now created a persona where you are, I'll say, King of the North.
Yeah.
And now people are like, associate you with this, and when you go out, they want you to kind of have this lifestyle.
You have to keep on buying bottles.
Yeah, because you're that guy.
You're that guy.
And then the question comes is, your long-term bottom line, your current bottom line, how's it benefiting? It's not. Only when you have this thing that you had where you went, no, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. Yeah. Similarly with Kagiso that I want to put you in touch with so you guys can chat. Boy went from, I'm working for one of the top banking companies in South Africa, and was like, Yazin, I'm done.
Yeah.
Sold these things, started this company, and I'm like, respect. And those are the people for me I want around me, because they're not consumers and they're not functionaries of a system. They are creators, benefactors of a system. As you said, you've got all the money, but you buy my product.
Exactly. Like,
but when are you driving a Toyota Taz with bulletproof glass?
Exactly. you drive Mercedes Benz. I own the brand. I would rather and also the people like that it's like, let's say that you are Lionel Messi, and then some amateur footballer starts talking smack. You're not going to even pay attention to it.
Why would I do that?
You're not paying it. You're just going to keep on walking and just becoming the goat of your field. Similarly, it's like Warren Buffett, great guy, drives the same car, stays in the same house he's been in forever. Someone else might see, if you're in that position and you're still driving the car that you're still driving now 20 years from now, but you're worth $50 billion US, and they're like, look at that car the guy's driving. You're not touched, you're not hurt, because you know what you have.
100%.
I don't have time or patience for those people. That's the type of thing that you'll come, because it's that whole thing of security for yourself. Yeah.
And I think, and I'm glad that we're even talking about that, even with black men. Once we become more secure in ourselves, we will stop this idea that we need to purchase women or we need to purchase societal approval through acquisition of, like, if I'm watching a budget.
No. Yeah. I'm buying Hennessy, bro. In Verochet, yes, that's what I'm going to buy. Yes,
guys.
For what?
The one thing that my white folks and friends taught me is that do it because it makes you happy.
There we go. That is priceless.
And Ulentos, who's this? I think Douglas Kruger in his book, Uti, the best car is the one that you actually have paid off.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't have right now. I don't have a best car because I haven't paid it off. Yeah. It belongs to ABSA.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like when my car's paid off, do you know how beautiful a feeling that is? Hey,
I want that month-end feeling when people are like,
or even like when you have a debt, because I took a debt to start the books, and then when I paid that initial debt off, do you know how beautiful that is?
Dude.
It's because now I own this. This is like mine.
No. Take this channel.
It's mine. It's mine, and it is a beautiful thing to see that thing of like, I own this. This is mine. Yeah. No one can take it away from me unless they steal it.
And this is why I said I think there's certain energies, and you'll pick it up with KG when you guys start chatting, and then you set up your session about people who have innate confidence within, like, acting in my state, because even in your most broker state you must still have that wherewithal. And this is why I was saying to you, poverty mindset actually, it messes you up, because if you're fixated on societal norms, then you'll never get out of poverty mindset. But the moment you have like, I am the source of my own understanding, pride, there's no amount of money, like I always say to people, no amount of money you can pay me to make me happy.
None.
But if I'm happy, then I get money. It makes my life a little easier because it gives me choices. Above and beyond that, if you are unhappy with your life, I can give you R1 billion. You'll try and buy everything. And again, you'll still be unhappy because you can't buy people to make, like, I can't buy it to be like, at this time you must tap me on the shoulder so I feel like I'm wanted.
No. You know, to that, in United when I was into Las Vegas in 2015. I went to a Tony Robbins seminar. Powerful, changing my life. That's where I'm like, okay, now I've got, I feel great because I always wanted to see. And then I was like,
is he really tall?
You guys massive.
Because I'm like, literally, we look up to you.
The guy is massive. Like, he's huge.
Just a huge person.
He's a huge person. And he also has a huge heart. Yeah, so I saw him there, and then we hung out for this. It was a 5 to 6 day conference, entrepreneurship convention. So I was at the bar there, and then I was, because it's called the Mirage Hotel. And by the way, I broke the bank to go there because I needed to go see this. So
but this is the thing, you invested.
There we go. I invested because like the dividends I got from that, tenfold. You'll never waste your time on conferences and traveling. I've learned that never waste your time. Your money there.
Just to add to that, my friends and I have actually started something. Because especially moving away from this King of the North lifestyle,
King of the North lifestyle.
No, we're like
a blog post.
Yeah,
King of the North lifestyle.
So we're like, nope. If it's your birthday and you're my friend, investigate what it is that Unjaps wants to be or get to. So, like for example, if you were going on the seminar, wanted to go on the seminar, we would have started a crowdfunding website. Where we as your friends throw money there because we know that this will bring us the best version of you. The best version of you will augment us because we look at you and you're like, yo,
that's like investing in the seminar. And now this guy's speaking 3,000 proverbs. Let's learn. That's good.
So in doing that, we move away from this. Oh, okay, we should buy a lawyer. When's imali yakho angizibuphuza lapha no gin tontoni.
There we go.
No, but in fact we needed to go to the Bahamas with amantombazane.
You see now.
And now you're accounting for your actions, but you're not going to accept the fact that that person, like as you said, on Saturdays when Japs was actually chilling at home, I listened to Gary Vee a lot. And he said this was my investment period where I was at my father's shop.
For like over a decade.
And then you look at it and it just takes hard grind. Like when you chat to KG, you're here now. And Nami, and this is why I was saying, I don't think I'm at the stage where you are at, but I'm going into a phase in my life where I'm going to go, okay, for the next couple of years,
that's it. That's all I'm doing.
I'll see you when I see you, but I need to focus on this so that I can get there. Because you will get to a stage in your life where you're like, actually, I am too big to speak to certain people. Chap, I've got an email, I've got a website, send me something. Done. And people are like, oh, yeah, no, I've done the ground. I've cleaned the floors.
So I've done my time. I've done my time.
So if your proposal is not where I need it to be, because now I make very calculated moves, because now I think by the time you're 40, your time will be so precious. Your hour will be worth like 7,000 rand. And then when you tell someone, chap, I really can't stand and talk to you, it's just it's poor business.
It's poor business. No. And there's someone else I can be adding more value to.
Which indirectly, then Mark Zuckerberg, then will come back and feed you, because me going to do that talk, you will have content to listen and go, oh, okay. But no, they want. And it's like,
guys, like some people just don't actually do the work and don't make you happy. So that with this guy I met in Las Vegas, so he made $10 million a year. He makes $10 million a year. He makes $10 million a year after all.
That's
that's in bank account. He said he was ready to commit suicide. We were sharing a drink together. He said he was ready to commit suicide. So I said, why? Like, $10 million, you're ready to commit suicide, why? And he realized he wasn't happy. Why he wasn't happy is that it was no one else's fault but himself. He said this is what he wants to do, build up a media company, an enterprise, and all these things. And then he said that, but it's not always what he's always wanted to do. He built himself in this industry, made all this money, ready to commit suicide. And I was like, yo, can I share a story? Can I share a story? Can I share a story? And he said,
take a pic up on my phone.
Can I share it? And I said, can I share a story? It's like, don't mention name or anything. And I'm like, I don't want to mention. So I've always been telling the story for the past 5 years. Like, it was mind blowing.
I can imagine.
Mind blowing to me.
Dude, like you've got it. It seems like you've got it all.
It seems like you've got it all, because I mean, like, what more do you really need out of life? Well, how's your quality of life should be great, but he really committed suicide because what? He wasn't happy with himself. And if you're not happy with yourself, we can give you Jeff Bezos money. You get happy to a certain point, but they won't take away that need that you have fulfilled. So for you, just to close off, if you would name the top 5 people that you would like to learn something from, top 5. It can be an athlete, it can be an entertainer, it can be a business person. Top 5 people. Don't care about nationality or anything. Top 5 people that you want to would you like to listen to or learn from?
One of them.
Is it
Is it Sean John or P Diddy?
P Diddy, yeah, Sean John, yeah.
I think 50 Cent.
Yeah, 50 Cent, yeah.
And then Larry Page? Oracle.
The Oracle of Larry Ellison. Yeah. Oracle of Omaha. Not Oracle of Omaha. He is the samurai of. Call him Samurai of Silicon. Samurai of something.
Yeah.
But he's like
everyone must lose.
Yeah, this guy is amazing.
He's ruthless.
Yeah, he's a ruthless guy. Yeah.
And then who else? I love Steve Jobs.
Steve J. Yeah.
And the reason I say I love, and I hope people don't misconstrue it for I did not pay attention. He was an absolute douchebag.
Yeah, apparently.
But if you look at the technology he created, it works. It does what it's supposed to do. Take a Samsung. Works, then there's which means there was a guy who was supposed to do something
who didn't do it.
Didn't do it because he was like, but
I can cut corners. Yeah.
At Apple, it was like, cut corners, get up.
Yeah.
Because the efficiency that I foresee, I want it in the technology.
And I will have it. The guy had a serious distortion field. I read his biography years back. I think I should read it again. That 700-page one. I sat down and I took 2 weeks and I'm like, I'm going to read this.
You did it.
This guy is... he's crazy. Like, for the thing is that this guy, his reality, he didn't live with us.
That's the thing.
He wasn't here. Like the stories you come up with from the past and what he would see now, what he'd see in the future, it didn't exist in everyone else except his head. And then it finally, it
came
existed.
through.
Yeah. Like, for example, like in 3 weeks we're launching this product. It's impossible. It's like 3 weeks we're launching this product. People crying and work on it, like a flog the whip, and then next in 3 weeks, what? It was there. Like 3 weeks ago, it was not possible.
Yeah.
That wasn't humanly possible. Now it's here. But in his head, it existed 3 weeks ago.
And he could see it.
And he could see it because it was already there.
And this is where I want to get to that point of understanding these people who, because you have to be partially
crazy.
Yes. There's no other nice way to put it. Yeah. Because it's like, so I've tried it at gym, and this is why I also love gym sometimes.
Yeah.
Not feeling it. I'm feeling it. You're going to do it.
Yeah.
Go through my head. I'm going to do it. Guess what happens? It gets done.
Yeah.
But the moment I convince myself it can't do it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So these guys, similarly to athletes who are about to sprint, and they're like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
I am the one. They kind of, to a point, they lie to themselves, because you can't be the best in soccer. You're one of.
Yeah.
Until someone elects you and says,
you
Messi, you are the best.
Yeah.
But in that year, who's there telling you the best?
You.
Because even your partner in your team is like, but I also want to win. So you're good, but I'm also good.
Yeah. So so that's the whole thing. Like, what is true to a certain point is like what's in your head. Like I know some people, they'll go back and they'll go back to their childhood and they'll be like, I know this happened, but in my head it happened this way, and then it will alter how they see themselves now.
So there's a guy, Dr. Dwyer.
Wayne Dwyer.
Everyone. I came to myself here.
You came to yourself. Yeah.
So one of the things that I read in his books, Wati, everything that manifests in this real world, that when I say real, in this world that we see with our flesh, because the world is actually more than what we see.
Yeah.
We just can't see radio waves and everything that we see manifests from a thought and intention, and without that thought and intention it wouldn't exist. So why don't we believe energies? Because by me thinking and feeling this way, I affect your energy. And with that said, having the right mindset, having the right energy around you, having the right aura, you may not think you can, but because you have the right crew around you, like Njabulo is like, Bongs, you actually don't have to buy that thing or do that thing. You're gonna get there, just you don't have to impress the wrong people. And one thing I learned is that buying the wrong things and having things that are seen as, like, I always make sure, like, this is my brother's shirt, so it's stolen. Like, I don't want branded things.
Yeah.
Purely because brands don't wear brands.
Yeah.
And lapho ngiyakhona ngiyazazi ukuthi ngiyini.
Yeah.
So I want to wear clothes that are high quality fabric so that they don't just tear when I wash them. But above and beyond that, I don't need you to buy into me because you're like, we afford to buy it.
Except for the Adidas cap though.
No, this put it on the side of the road. I needed a running cap.
Yeah.
So yeah. So like for example, when I run, sun bucks you up. I will buck you up.
Yeah,
so I was like, let me just get myself a couple of caps because I'm playing golf also. I hope you can play golf.
Not yet.
It's easy sport. It's like soccer with a stick.
Okay, cool.
Very easy. And the reason why I say this is healthy hobbies that I can actually enjoy to my yonder years. But yeah, I don't. And also that, like when I go out intentionally, when I go out to social settings, like I make sure I'm wearing no brands because I don't want you to buy into an assumed version of me.
Yeah.
I want you to be like, yo, I was.
Yeah. Exactly. Fine. Like
it helps me not have to have that awkward conversation of, no, I'm actually not that guy.
Yeah.
Izolo, we saw a lady sitting there all by herself, and then it was awkward. Now time to leave, and abantu are like, and then I'm like, hi guys, I don't subscribe to that lifestyle. If she was my person, sorted.
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know you.
I don't know you, and also I don't do that. Not because I can't, but I just don't think it's right because it feeds into a society that I don't subscribe to.
Yeah, true.
I don't agree. So I'd rather lose people because they think I can't than have people because they're like, oh, okay, cool, we're social climbing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it means I've got a house of cards.
Yeah.
And one day, and I can't even like sign contracts with you guys because you're like, hey, malengag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're my friend, you're like, boy.
Yeah.
And I feel secure. And then if I go, let's say now, one day you're like, actually, Bongs, I think I should give myself a jet because it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
It won't be a thing of, oh, to the jet. How can you
No, it just because it makes sense. Like operate on your level.
100%.
See yourself at a high level, but operate on your level. Jeff Bezos, owns jets because he needs them so he can expand his business.
Dude,
I right now do not need a jet.
So I was looking at like e-moto because being financially moto because previous one got into a car accident unfortunately. And I love my Polo. It was beautiful. Did what it had to do. It was old, but it was still running. So anyway, now I'm like, okay, Wongs, next 5 years, and this is where I was saying to you the research, like even my Garmin. Having moved from, actually we can use the Apple Watch story. When I saw the Apple Watch, I was like, my prayers have been answered because the metrics I need are not going to actually be in my face. Got the Apple Watch, started using it. It just wasn't doing the things. It was not fit. It charged more than I wore it. And I was like, and already I had that issue with smartwatches is that they have to be charged. My watch must tell me time. If it ran out of battery, I take it there, they put a battery in, it runs. Or it's an automatic. So that was always my philosophy. It must be functional before aesthetics, before whatever the world thinks of it. If it doesn't serve the purpose, don't buy it. Get the Apple Watch, it does the things, it motivates me, your calories, wada. And now I have a reference point for my entire week of training, upper body, back, Then I realized there's something inefficient here. When I want to go for a run, this thing is charging. Now I must delay my run by 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Come on.
And also if I only charge it for 5 minutes, then I can only have a 20-minute run. If I charge it for 10, I was like, kuning. So then I started doing research, and this is where I appreciate my parents' teaching. I read, and I was like, okay. And eventually found the spec that was necessary. Military grade, long battery life, and it came up common. I was like, okay. Water resistance, gonk. And then once I did it, got it, I've never looked back. And I don't even see it as a smartwatch because I took all those features off. Because I'm like, again, I don't need you to be disturbed. If my phone's ringing, let it be my phone. This is a smartwatch. It does now it's tracking my heart rate. So if, for example, I've got an arrhythmia or my resting heart rate starts to increase, then I can go back to that data, look at myself, Bongs, you're predisposed. There's something coming. Whereas the Apple Watch, you couldn't wear it every day because 8 hours later, data's cut. So for me, I'm all about data, and I mean where we're going as a society, as a people, data mining is a thing. You can go left, you can go right. Those AI machines are going to be powered by data, and if you're at the wrong spectrum of that data,
you're gonna be in trouble. What's your parting shot to the guys watching?
As I said, begin with the end goal in mind. Literally
Stephen Covey type of stuff, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, if we go back all the way to health, So I have a simple philosophy: health and wealth. You cannot have they linked, because if you're healthy, it's easier for you to be wealthy. If you're wealthy, it's easier for you to be healthy, and also obviously equally easier for you to be unhealthy, because you can choose to live an unhealthy lifestyle. But I think those two things go hand in hand, and so long as you still have the ability to do any form of thinking, you can always think positive thoughts. It's not always easy. But you know that thing, but work hard.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah, bruh. Don't lie to people. If you don't want to share, as in I'm not comfortable sharing. But if you can share to increase, and I guess it's put yourself in the right circles where you don't have to go, no, just work hard. No, as in my cousin actually put me on, and then what happened? Yo, luck, bro. Some guy from America overheard the conversation, and he was like, actually, I've got $10 million. That's how it came to be. Oh, okay. No, it's all me. I went to Rhodes University. I know that opens certain doors.
Yeah.
That having gone to UKZN, it wouldn't open. So my end goal is do good to others. Above and beyond that, have pure intentions, because I do believe in energies. So my end goal is to have a society. My utopia basically is a world or a society that's based on humanity. How much does Njabulo value the next person and desires the next person to progress? In saying yes, he does, and how much, that's how wealthy he is. Even though he doesn't actually own that wealth, it's around him. Yeah. Because people are willing to go, oh, you need, oh, we know you. Yeah. So whereas if you are desiring to amass and be by yourself, then they're like,
crazy. Because
you're not looking out for us. So the survival of the species is diminished by your presence. So maybe get rid of you.
Yeah.
Scoot. Yeah. No, because that's it. That's me. Like I look at some guys in Joburg, and people are not willing to share business ideas. I mean, right now, I'll give you a simple, real case in point. We were chatting about logistics, and I'm asking guys in logistics, guys, ABCD, who's in logistics? Yeah, how much are you moving? I'm like, what do you mean, how much am I moving? Are you in logistics or not? Yeah, no, let me know the numbers. And I'm like, don't try to be clever. There's work to be done, and I just want to find the right candidates. And I don't believe in giving work or business to people who are going to squander opportunities. If you come to me and you go, okay, I'm going to employ so many people, like, man, guys, no. Because I know that tomorrow I don't have to worry about crime, because you've actually employed maybe 100,000 people, maybe 10,000 people, but you've reduced the probability of crime because I care about the greater community. So that's my end goal, to have a community that I can say, as I said, live and let live. Yeah. And do good by others.
100%.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Cool. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, wow. Still levels.
Levels, Papa.
Levels are correct.